Election season is here, and that can create confusion and anxiety for some voters. Hear more about how you can manage stress this election season.
60 Minutes shares the varying scheduling claims from former President Donald Trump about participating in the customary presidential candidate interviews.
Misinformation has been impacting hurricane relief efforts. Later tonight, experts go over some of the rumors as well as debunk them.
The death toll continues from Hurricane Helene. Across 6 states, hundreds of people have been killed in the destruction.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Good evening, Kent State, and welcome to Kent Stater TV. I'm Noah Rowe.
And I'm Sydney Brown. Thank you so much for joining us tonight at 6. We have the latest on your community and your stories.
Absolutely, we do. You know, Crawford Hall has opened at Kent State, and the old business building awaits demolition as part of the university's space reduction strategy. Doug Pearson, the Associate Vice President of Facilities Planning, confirmed they've requested state funds for demolition, but have not received them yet. The university plans to convert the site into green space, and Pearson also mentioned plans to demolish Verter Hall for additional parking spaces on campus.
A Cleveland News reporter from Channel 19 was shot yesterday in an apparent domestic violence incident. Lakewood police arrived at Clifton Boulevard following calls of gunshots around 8 a.m. Monday. They found a dead male and the reporter with gunshot wounds lying on the sidewalk. Winnie Dortch suffered gunshot wounds and was taken to the hospital for surgery, where she is currently recovering. This investigation is ongoing.
A new solar farm in Logan County, the Grange Solar Grazing Center, is blending renewable energy with agriculture by using sheep to maintain the land. Open Road Renewables has partnered with local farmers to manage grazing, preventing vegetation from obstructing solar panels. This initiative, dubbed Lambscaping, aims to revitalize Ohio's declining sheep industry, potentially bringing in nearly 8,000 sheep each year. The solar farm spans over 2,500 acres and may offer more farming opportunities in the future.
And the Kent State community is rallying around a third-year student. Max Morady is recently diagnosed with cancer. As a member of Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity on campus, his brothers are sharing a GoFundMe page to cover his medical bills as he, quote, fights and beats cancer, unquote. Just today, the page raised over $5,000 and counting.
Yesterday was the last day to register to vote, and today was the first day that you could vote in the election. While the big day is still a little ways off, if you're just itching to cast your ballot early, in-person and mail-in voting is now live. You can request a mail-in ballot from your local election board and also vote early in person at your local election board as well. The main event is, of course, November 5th, and polls are open from 6:30 a.m. until 7:30 p.m.
Your first forecast on Kent Stater TV.
It's Tegan Evans with your weather forecast. First, let's take a look at the weather right now in Kent and throughout the state of Ohio. It has definitely started to feel cooler this week. If you had early classes today, you probably had to grab a jacket when heading out of the door. But as the day went on, it got a little bit warmer. And right now, it is 62 degrees. Lots of clouds in the sky, and as the night goes on, this will increase. Winds are west 8 miles per hour. Now taking a look at the whole state of Ohio, we start up north in Toledo. It is a warmer 70 degrees than it is here in Kent. And in Akron, it is a little bit cooler, sitting at 62 degrees. We head east to Pittsburgh, and it is a little bit warmer, sitting at 66 degrees. As we head down south, Columbus is 68 degrees, Cincinnati 70, and Athens is just a little bit cooler at 69 degrees. Now, if we focus in on the northeast portion of Ohio, again, here in Kent, it is 63 degrees. We go up towards the lake up north. Ashtabula is 60 degrees, a little bit warmer in Cleveland at 63 degrees, and Sandusky is 66 degrees. Head down south to Mansfield, it is 64 degrees. Worcester is 66 degrees, Akron-Canton is 62, and in the east, Youngstown is 61 degrees. That's all I have for now. Stay tuned for the weather for the rest of tonight, tomorrow, and what the rest of the week is going to look like.
Thank you, Tegan. As we near Election Day, Kent State and Portage County are preparing for political-related stress, from tense conversations to the optics of voting.
Our very own Landry spoke to voters and election experts today. Good evening, Landry.
Thanks, Sydney. Early voting starts today in Ohio, and we are exactly 1 month out from the 2024 presidential election. Kent State is acknowledging that feelings of anxiety and pressure can be present this time of year.
I'm pretty stressed. Gotta see what's gonna happen. I don't know. Things are pretty crazy right now.
Worried feelings are surrounding this year's presidential election, and Kent State's counseling and psychological services are recognizing this. They shared tips to students and faculty for dealing with election-related stresses.
But, I think people might get mad if it doesn't go their way.
Despite the busyness of this season, local election officials are working hard to make voting accessible to as many Portage County voters as they can.
There's always some stress that comes along with higher numbers of individuals, but we prepare many months in advance of the election so that we are ready for anything that might come our way.
Kent State students seem to be making an effort to learn more about the candidates and issues on the ballot.
I've watched pretty much all of the debates just to look at all the different sides. Once we get up to the election, I think I'll do a little bit more research just to make sure I do know.
Early voting is now open in Ohio, and as you head to the polls, the Board of Elections encourages new and returning voters to stay informed.
I think the most important thing is to don't ever be afraid to ask questions. I always also suggest individuals, reach out to your political parties, both parties, if you're not sure who you want to vote for or if you're trying to get more information. But I think the most important thing is to start your plan now for how you're going to cast that ballot.
For help for voter information, visit the Portage County Board of Elections website. Make sure to stay tuned for upcoming election news this month. For Kent Stater TV News, this is Landry Torres.
Thanks, Landry. 60 Minutes revealed why former President Trump declined to participate in the traditional presidential candidate interviews yesterday. Initially, Trump's campaign agreed to the interview, but later backed out. Host Scott Peely said the campaign gave shifting reasons for canceling. The Trump team, however, claimed no interview was officially scheduled. Despite Trump's absence, the episode featured interviews with Vice President Kamala Harris and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz.
FEMA officials are pushing back against misinformation that is hurting relief efforts for Hurricane Helene and Hurricane Milton. Rumors such as survivors receiving only $750 in aid are misleading. That amount is just an initial payment for emergency supplies with the possibility for more aid available. Another false claim suggested that FEMA funds are being diverted for international aid, which Administrator Deanne Criswell denied. Rumors about limited efforts in North Carolina were also dismissed by Governor Roy Cooper, who assured that state and federal resources are fully deployed to assist those in need.
At least 235 people across 6 states have died from Helene. Officials in Tennessee announced Monday the bodies of 9 people who were swept away by floodwaters caused by Helene were recovered in Unicoi County. Officials say 5 of those victims were employees of Impact Plastics, and another worker remains missing. The bodies that were recovered also included residents from North Carolina and a gray body that was still in the casket.
Some of country music's biggest names are coming together for a special benefit concert in western North Carolina. Luke Combs, Eric Church, Billy Strings, and James Taylor will headline the concert for Carolina on October 26th at Charlotte's Bank of America Stadium, home of the Carolina Panthers. Hosted by ESPN's Marty Smith and Barstool Sports' Caleb Presley. The event will feature more artists to be announced. Tickets go on sale this Thursday.
As Hurricane Milton approaches Florida, there are over 1,300 gas stations out of fuel. Demand for gas surged as some residents in Milton's path are evacuating. The Associated Press reported 11% of Florida gas stations were without gas yesterday, and today this spiked to over 17% of stations. But in the projected aftermath, there are worries that the fuel will not reach areas if there is damage to Port of Tampa.
And bringing things back, local community members decorated a bridge in downtown Kent to celebrate LGBTQ History Month. KSTV reporters were there and have the story.
At Kent State University, we want all students to develop a global perspective. And with more than 200 study abroad programs in 60 countries, there are many opportunities. One is found in the Central African country of Rwanda, where students connect with survivors of the 1994 genocide.
We're learning about the reconciliation process. Rwanda sort of took a very community-based approach to how they recovered.
In January, a group of Kent State student athletes traveled to Rwanda, where they organized a soccer camp for children.
While we were there, we got to work with kids and spread our knowledge about sports.
And we brought shoes, cleats, soccer balls for everybody.
It was a transformational experience.
The people of Rwanda were full of joy. They were also full of excitement and life.
I think the big thing that I'm going to take home personally from the experience is perspective. There's not just one way to do things.
This was unlike any other academic experience I've ever had.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Tomorrow's news leaders.
Today's top stories.
From an award-winning student newsroom.
This is Kent Stater TV.
Your community.
Your stories.
Welcome back. Downtown Kent got a bit more colorful Monday afternoon as community members came together to welcome LGBTQ+ History Month.
Our reporter Jonathan Beard has the story.
Kent State University's LGBTQ Center and local nonprofit Main Street Kent partnered to welcome LGBTQ History Month by decorating the Main Street Bridge.
So October is LGBTQ+ History Month, and through that month we do outreach to all the university partners, including our regional campuses, and encourage them to host events to celebrate the LGBTQ+ Cultural Celebration Month.
The main point of the event is to show the world and our community that we are open and accepting and loving, and everybody is welcome here.
Participants from the university, as well as the wider community, came together to decorate the bridge with the LGBTQ and transgender pride flags and take pictures. Since the two organizations started partnering together for events back in 2020, the level of participation from the community at large has increased.
We have a lot of participation, and it seems to be growing each year with people coming out to enjoy the festivities and businesses participating more and more, decorating and having events at their own places to make people feel welcome and have some fun.
Reflecting on things at KSU, Ditliff said that progress has been made for the LGBTQ community since his decade as director, but he says their work is far from over.
It's constantly advocating for better, so we're doing some great things, but there's always room for more.
Several events are being planned for this October in celebration, including Rainbow Weekend, which is kicking off this Friday with a number of events including a queer art show and a 5K drag race. For KSTV News, I'm Jonathan Beard.
The Nobel Committee announced yesterday that Princeton University professor John Hopfield is being given the honor alongside Jeffrey Hilton, that honor, of course, being the Nobel Peace Prize. Both teach at the University of Toronto. The two were praised for their foundational discoveries that enable machine learning with artificial neural networks. The chair of the Nobel Committee for Physics says as a result of their work, artificial intelligence has now become of our everyday lives. The prize carries a cash award of about $1 million.
Hitting a jackpot will have a sharper buy-in. Mega Millions, the multi-state lottery game, is increasing the price of a single ticket from $2 to $5 starting in April 2025. Lottery officials say this hike will cause faster growing and larger starting jackpots and expect more billion-dollar jackpots than ever before. And will no longer have break-even prizes, meaning all winning tickets will have more than $5 price tags.
A recent flight from Sydney to Tokyo got extremely uncomfortable when a racy film was played on all of the aircraft's screens for nearly an hour. According to a statement from the Australian airline, there was a technical issue with the in-flight entertainment system. The film was rated R because of language, sexual material, and brief graphic nudity. Passengers were unable to pause or turn off their screens. The airline said cabin crew apologized to passengers and will follow up with them shortly.
It may only be October, but the Salvation Army in Greater Cleveland is already catching the Christmas spirit. The charitable organization is working to give thousands of children and families presents under the tree and food on the table this holiday season. The Salvation Army's Christmas Assistance Program is available to families in need with children 12 and younger, and last year served more than 2,700 families and toys to nearly 6,000 children. Registration is available now through November 1st.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm, this is your KSTV weather.
The weather for the rest of the evening is not going to be too chilly, but temperatures will fluctuate throughout the week. Let's take a look. In an hour at 7 p.m., it is going to be 58 degrees and cloudy. Clouds will increase throughout the night as the temperatures drop. At 9 p.m., it will be 52, and at 11 p.m., just a little bit cooler and cloudier at 51 degrees. Now let's take a look at tomorrow morning. Tomorrow it will be sunny and 62. There is a morning wind chill though that is in the low 40s, so you may want to grab a coat on your way to class. But also keep in mind that there will be a 90% chance of 90% humidity, so you may want to take that into consideration when getting ready for class tomorrow. Winds throughout the day will be northwest 6 to 14 miles per hour, but it will calm down as the day goes on, and in the evening they will be northwest 3 to 5 miles per hour. Now let's take a look at the rest of this week. Like I said, tomorrow will be a high of 62 and a low of 38. It'll be sunny. The sun will continue through Thursday with a high of 61 and a low of 35. Now Thursday night, some frost will begin to form around 4 a.m. and will be done around 9 a.m. on Friday morning when the high will be 71 degrees and a low of 53. As we head into the weekend, it is going to be getting a little bit cloudier with a high of 69 on Saturday and a low of 48. As we approach Sunday, it'll be a high of 67 and a low of 42, but there will be a 50% chance of rain. The rain will continue throughout the rest of the week. On Monday for Columbus Day, it will be a high of 55, a low of 37, with again 50% chance of rain. On Tuesday, it'll get a little cooler with 53 degrees being the high, the low of 36, and rain 30%. That's all I have for the weather in Kent, but before I go, I would like to give everyone an update on Hurricane Milton that is headed towards Florida. The hurricane was just a Category 4 and was on the cusp of a Category 5, but it is reported that it just hit back again to being a Category 5. It is set to hit land tomorrow night. That's all I have. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Tegan. You know, all across the country, there are business stories that are making national headlines.
Yes, and here to give us those top stories is our very own Matt Corrali. Good evening, Matt.
Good evening, guys, and yes, that's right. It was a big night in the world of business news, and we're here to break it all down for you as we start tonight with Spirit Halloween, as the retail chain that's known for ushering in the spooky season is now embracing Christmas, as Spirit Halloween has announced that it will be opening 10 Spirit Christmas stores later this fall. They will mostly be located in the northeast part of the country. The company says the stores will be filled with Christmas-themed decorations, inflatables, gifts, and arguably, above all else, pictures with Santa. That's going to be really fun to watch out for. Panera Bread has reached the first settlement among several wrongful death lawsuits regarding one of its now discontinued charged lemonade drinks. The lawyer representing the family of Sarah Katz told USA Today a deal was made but could not provide specifics. Additional charged lemonade cases remain pending. In 2022, the 21-year-old Katz collapsed hours after having some of the charged lemonade, later dying in an area hospital. Keeping things on the subject of fast food, Americans are revolting against chains in the industry due to high prices. That leaves French fry suppliers out to dry as Lamb Weston, the largest supplier in the country, closed its Washington state plant. The company announced last week that it would lay off nearly 400 employees and temporarily cut production lines in response to the slow customer demand. And finally, TikTok is facing more legal pressure. Tuesday, 14 states filed lawsuits claiming that the social media platform harms children's mental health. The lawsuits allege that TikTok uses an addictive content recommendation system that puts profit over safety. They claimed it's designed to keep minors on the app as long as possible, which helps the company boost revenue from selling targeted ads. And that'll do it for Business News Tonight. For updates from us 24/7, make sure to visit us online at KentWire.com. From the Franken Hall studio, Matt Caroli, Kent Stater TV. Guys.
Monday Night Football gave us a matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New Orleans Saints. Stay with us to see if KC defended the Red Kingdom.
Hope you all had a good weekend and are ready to be inspired. One quick thing I want to remind you guys to be studying.
Major key alert. Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Class, today we're talking about inspirational quotes.
You want to get that paper? You better turn in that paper and get an A+. That's a major key. Another one. Mogul talk. You want to reach the mountaintop? You got to go hard. To succeed, you have to believe. Stay focused. Fly higher than the eagle. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote from recent history?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
My name is Liam Aberly. I am an assistant designer here at Yellow Cake. Everything I do currently is all stuff that builds on top of things I learned at Kent.
They had a different commitment to their craft or to their major. You know, part of that is just who he is naturally, and I think part of that he gleaned and honed at, his time at Kent State.
There has been a bit of a budding scene here in Cleveland between Valerie and some other designers that live around here, and we're really starting to put Cleveland on the map in the fashion world.
Is it okay over there? Is that good?
Jackie boy, look, we have been through a lot together.
Hurry up before this rain, this rain goes away.
Well, it's just,
Good evening, Portage County. I'm Gage Wellman, and folks, I don't know if anybody's told you, but the world of sports is absolutely crazy right now. So let's get right into it. The Kent State women's golf team teed off this Monday in Lawrence, Kansas for the Marilyn Smith Sunflower Invitational. The Flashes finished day one in second place just behind the host school, Kansas. Freshman Isabella Goyette is coming off a sharp performance at last week's Blessings Invitational, where she recorded her first top-team finish. In Tuesday's play, I am happy to report that your Flashes sophomore, Veronica Kadrovna, has been shooting incredibly well, and that she acquired her second ever career victory. Congrats to Veronica. And over in Kansas City, we had a absolutely phenomenal matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Kansas City Chiefs. As veteran quarterback Derek Carr, he would scramble out of the pocket and fire a back foot pass to defensive back Brian Cook. And would you have a look at this catch? Shades of Odell Beckham and Jermaine Kearse in Super Bowl 49. He juggles and he would hold on to that ball. That would set up the Kansas City Chiefs to reunite with former running back Kareem Hunt. He would plow his way into the end zone for 6. Then Derek Carr, down 10-0, he would fire back with a big pass of his own to speedy Rashid Shaheed. He would give, as Derek Carr, he's going to talk a bit of trash there to the Chiefs. Then, are the Chiefs going to score here? No! Big man pick as he would stumble and grumble, but the Saints, they would not be able to take advantage of it. Travis Kelce, he's under center. I think he forgot his position there. As Xavier Worthy, he would find his way in the end zone as the Saints would not be able to come back. Chiefs 26, Saints 13. Let's take you to the world of baseball, where the National League Division Series continues to rage on. The Philadelphia Phillies will travel to Queens tonight to take on the New York Mets. Starting for the Phils will be Aaron Nola. Opposite him will be Sean Manaea for the Mets. Later, the LA Dodgers will sneak behind enemy lines to take on the rival San Diego Padres. Now, this series has been very heated, with fans and players such as Manny Machado throwing objects at each other. Walker Buehler will start for the Dodgers. Michael King will throw for the Padres. Well, Portage County, it has been an absolute pleasure to share the world of sports with you. I've been Gage Wellman, and have a wonderful night.
A furry friend in Australia had a close call at the train station. Hear about the unlikely passenger at the train station.
Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the nation deserves a book to read, and we can make it happen right now. No, I don't know what you've been told, but kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time. Seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall. Writing on the wall. One book can make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Good job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
Out of Sydney, Australia, a curious koala survived a close call at a train station at the Calusa station. Video shows a koala strolls up and down the train platform, wandering dangerously close to the platform's edge. We gotta be behind the yellow line, everybody. A train guard took notice and notified trains in the area to slow down. When police arrived on the scene, they watched the koala safely navigate and scale the fence toward a nearby national park.
Get ready, SpongeBob fans. You've heard all about it in every kicker story for the past couple weeks. Wendy's is driving into nostalgia with a special meal to celebrate the 25th anniversary of SpongeBob SquarePants. Starting today, that's right, today, you can snag the Krabby Patty Collab cheeseburger, which features an extra slice of cheese so cheese fans stay on top of things, and a mysterious Krabby Collab sauce. But that's not all. You can also enjoy a pineapple under the sea Frosty. It's vanilla swirled with pineapple and mango puree.
Sounds awesome.
Sounds pretty
But I'm pretty sure that's all the time we have for today.
I do believe so, unfortunately. That's going to wrap up our Tuesday night newscast.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. For updates on more stories in your community, follow Kent Wired on all platforms. I'm Sydney Brown.
And I'm Noah Rowe. Have a great day, Portage County.
At Kent State University, student athletes from around the world find their home away from home.
My dream has always been to come to the United States and play basketball on a college level.
I'm going to be the first graduate in my family. It's a big thing for me.
The faculty members here at Kent State are incredible.
I feel like Kent State, it has all the opportunity in the world.
Northeast Ohio is the ideal place for them to excel athletically and academically. From the moment they arrive, students are surrounded by a network of support that helps them thrive and achieve their dreams.
We are a family, so helping each other out is one of the most important things.
Straight away I knew I had people that I could count on. As soon as I got here, between coaches, friends that I met pretty early on, I feel like this is a second home now.
This is the place. This is it.
Coach Starkey, he always asks about how you're doing.
Our coaches are so supportive. They make you better athletes, and so many of those qualities are transferable. You're going to come out of here being a successful student athlete.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.